I've never heard of Supreme Court Justice Roger B. Taney before.
Wait, what? Roger B. Taney was born in 1777 in Calvert County, Maryland, to his two parents, Michael and Monica Taney. His father owned a very successful tobacco business, but because Roger B. Taney was the third of 7 children, he wasn't in line to inherit his business or his land. Because of this, when Taney was 15, he went to Dickinson College to begin his studies. Taney graduated and was taken under the wing of Jeremiah Townley Chase. 3 years later, he entered the bar exam and passed, being thrust into the world of politics. Taney began his career by serving in Maryland's House of Delegates for 1 year, until he was forced out by Jefferson's Anti-Federalists. After this, Taney was out of a government position for almost 16 years before being elected to the Maryland Senate in 1816. Taney served a 5-year term on the Maryland Senate as a Democratic Republican before taking a leave to focus on his private practice in Baltimore. After a few years, Taney got involved again, supporting Andrew Jackson's 1828 run for the presidency. Around this time, Taney was appointed Attorney General of Maryland, but left the job after 4 years when President Jackson appointed him Attorney General of the United States. In 1833, Jackson appointed Taney as Secretary of the Treasury, but his appointment was nixed by a Senate vote, making him the first cabinet appointee ever to be denied. Then, in 1835, Jackson nominated Taney to the Supreme Court, but he wasn't initially approved. 10 months later, he was nominated as a Chief Justice, and he was confirmed. Taney succeeded Chief Justice John Marshall. The Taney Court was very different than the Marshall Court, which valued federal power, as Taney's court held states' power in a higher regard. Taney demonstrated how he valued states' rights in cases such as Charles River Bridge v. Warren Bridge. In this case, Taney increased state power by ruling that Warren Bridge should be able to build on the river, and that right wasn't exclusive to the Charles Company. This was in Massachusetts' favor, as it would go on to increase commerce. Taney's most important and defining opinion came in the Dred Scott v. Sanford case. In this case, Dred Scott was a free slave for 10 years in Illinois, and he claimed that he should continue to be free after he returns home to Missouri. Taney's court ruled 7-2 that anyone of African American descent could never be a citizen. This rendered the Missouri Compromise, a step in the right direction for abolishing slavery, null and void, and against the Constitution. When Lincoln became president, Taney, despite his ideology, did not join the Confederacy, and he and Lincoln ended up being adversaries on most issues. One instance of this was during the war when Lincoln suspended some people's writ of habeas corpus, and Taney declared this unconstitutional. Despite this, Lincoln flat out ignored this ruling. On October 12, 1864, not long after this, Taney died at 87 years old. Taney's tenure as Chief Justice was the second longest ever, at 28 years and 198 days. But this is just a few minutes in the life of Roger B. Taney.